Hello, hello, hello. This is my first ever video, I guess, of doing a insecure, um, I wouldn't call it a roast. I would just call it my own insecure thoughts, as I'm watching, as a viewer, as a fan, as a supporter of Issa, um, you know, um, Prentice and Melina, all the directors, the writers, Natasha, everybody. I'm truly a fan that's invested in the show. Like, I can't even tell you the directors or writers of a lot of other shows, but this one, my dear, she's one to watch. So let's get right into it. One of the things I noticed first thing off bat, 4 months since the last season, you would think, given it took them a year to come out with this next season, that they were fine, but Issa, next season, either I want 40 minutes per episode or, you know, 30 minutes. Come on, Issa. The first episode was 34 minutes, 35 minutes. I mean, thanks, but we needed a little bit more. Um, and so basically, it's just gonna run down how I feel about the entire video. I did make notes. I know, so weird, right? I'm such a geek. I made notes just to keep me on track with everything that goes on throughout the entire episode. It's only 30 minutes, so this video should not be that long. While you are watching, please like, subscribe, comment, share this video with all of the fans that, some of you may have without your own groups of friends or your own social media platforms. My intention is not to have a ton of subscribers. My intention is not to, I don't know, what's the point of YouTubers? Well, yeah, I'm just making this video because I just truly enjoy the show, and I know there's someone out there who would kind of like, experiencing this whole situation with me and hopefully vibe with it. So basically it goes into just this whole thing. I'm assuming this scene is basically about the concert that the block party is going to happen at the end of that season. And she's showing visuals and things like that, which I love. But the first thing that I encountered was a looking for Latoya with Terry Vaughn. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Like, first off, her name is Rose Cranberry. Let's start there. I'm like, how did they even concept? Like, how did that even come about? Which is a question I'll probably have one of the writers. And then the self-care Sundays. Like, so important, I think, because Issa is in a place where she's moving forward, positive energy, like good vibes. As one of the first scenes, usually when you enter the first episode of season 4, she's just trying to move forward into a positive direction. Given everything that's happened the past 3 seasons, girl, I would want to walk straight too. And one of the things that got me was the opening line. I always think the opening and ending lines of episodes are very important and things that as viewers we have to watch out for if you're truly, a watcher of the show. No comment. So the line was, honestly, I don't fuck with Molly anymore. Period. And I just rewatched it, but of course I watched it on the season premiere. However, when I first heard it, as a viewer, it just took me, because you think throughout this entire experience, of watching the show and, going through the show with the writers and the actors, you're like, that will never, like, come on. Like, that's the premise of almost the entire show, the relationship between Issa and Molly. And, of course, the writers just shake us from the very beginning. Mind you, I'm sorry, we're just gonna do a pause for a moment. I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. Hopefully I can edit that out. But I did want to do a cute little cocktail. Don't judge. It is a red cup. However, I am being, environmentally friendly. I have a metal straw. But it's important to stay hydrated when you're talking about one of your favorite shows. So let's continue the episode. It goes into Issa and just Molly just having this genuine best friend moment. self-care Sundays. And, in this introduction, I'm assuming it's kind of catching us up on what they've been up to a little bit. Um, One, I love the realism. The realism. I'm gonna start using that word hopefully throughout this entire process, but realism of the whole thing, of just Issa smoking marijuana. I always thought within the first 3 seasons, I'm like, I would think this would be introduced a lot sooner. However, they waited till season 4, maybe for comfortability reasons for the viewers. I don't know, but I'm glad to finally see some ganja usage. I'm not knocking it. However, I do understand where sometimes that may need to come into play. So let's move on to, the exceptional shots of Issa and Condola. Just going straight into the video, I'm like, not the video, the episode, my bad. Straight into the episode, I'm just like, they're just shot so beautifully, what they're wearing, how their hair is, even some of the funny comedic lines. It's like, oh my god, they introduced this new character in a stunning light. Even in the last episode of season 3, I noticed it then. I'm like, this is how you introduce a new character. And I even knew from the end how they were shooting her and this kind of line she was getting. I'm like, she's going to be a pivotal role in what's about to come. And of course, we see her now and she's dating Lawrence. I really want to commend the writers again for a full-size nigga. That's my preference. However, I know Issa's been on, kind of the stick role, so she's been fine with Lauren. She was fine with Nathan, all sticks, and this full-size nigga just gave me life. It was like, yes, finally, she just gets into it. Whatever that is, you brought it this season, writers. Like that, it was, I don't know how else to explain it. It was genius. Also, another thing that I loved was the facials when Molly and, I'm sorry, not Molly, Issa, Amanda, and Condola. I'm sorry, I'm calling Amanda Tiffany. Issa, Tiffany, and Condola. That scene when they were in the office and they were just, the secrets revealed. And when it's revealed, it's like a 3-second stare that Issa has at Condola, and it's like, you literally see her fears just run through her eyes. It's like, okay. I guess it's taking a moment for it to sink in what she just found out, but I think that is one of the most, thoughtful shots of that whole entire conversation is the realness. It's like, if anyone wants to find that out about their ex, they're like, there has to be a moment to process. There has to be a moment to, like, just take in what you heard. And that, my dear, was not a small thing to swallow. Another thing that I noticed is Condola's staple look. The hair, the ponytail, cute, keep it going. Oh my god, one of my other favorite characters is one of Issa's tenants, and that's the girl with the child. I'm not really sure of her name right now, but she is so refreshing. She brings this comedic feel to it that I think anyone can relate to because we all know someone like that. Like, it's amazing. And of course, her brother, who is supposed to be gay, by the way, in this whole entire thing. But of course, the tenant likes him and makes comments toward his outfit and things like that. And, once again, it speaks on the genuineness of the writers, how real they are, the realisms they put into this freaking show. It's like, yes, we know her. We know a girl like that. I know a girl like that, and I know you know a girl like that too. So I think it's refreshing when many times throughout the episode you just can relate in so many different ways. Another thing that really struck out was Kelly, of course. Her comedic relief that she brings to the show. She speaks about, the bigger the stronger the libation, the bigger the donation. Okay, honey, anyone a nonprofit knows, or even just starting your own business, that it's true. I mean, it's something about getting that booze flowing that opens pockets, and it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I totally agree with that. Another real moment. Um, and one thing that I did notice throughout the entire show, they sometimes drop little, you know, empowerment seeds or little things that we can actually use in our own life. Referencing back to maybe season 1 or 2, when Lawrence was going for the interview and he was practicing those interview questions. And one of the interview questions, I think, was what is one of some of your weaknesses? And he said, you know, it's my ability to perfect things. Sometimes it can be a downfall because I put so much pressure on myself that, you know, it can be a little bit much. And I felt like, I'm like, oh my God, that's the perfect response to that type of question. I'm going to use it. And I sure as hell did. And that interview went really well when I actually used it in my, you know, own experience when I had to do interviews and things like that. Like, it's a great answer for anybody just searching for a job or just needing, you know, needing an experienced view on how to answer that question. I felt it was amazing. You know, I really want to go back to Full Size Bay. I think he, as I said, he also provides another comic relief to the show. It's like it's once again, it's a guy you know. It's that. I'm sorry. I realize there might be many audio distractions given that this is my first video. I didn't take into account the things that would be happening or could happen while I was videotaping. Sorry, guys. And let's turn the page. Okay, it says here, oh, Dante, this new character. Hopefully he returns. He's hilarious. You know, even though he had like 3 lines, he has like this ignorant, freaking funny mentality. It's like, oh my God, seriously. Like, really? Where am I gonna park? And you don't even have a car. Okay. Like, it's just like, oh my God. You know these people. That's it. It's like they input these realisms, they make these characters so multidimensional. It's like you cannot help but to be like, he reminds me of, y'all know who. Okay, that's what it gives. And also, I want to go into, you know, back looking for LaToya. You guys, casting did it again. Tasha, I mean, yeah, Tasha, I think it was Tasha and Rufus, Ray J, and Portia Williams from Atlanta Housewives. Marvelous choice. Like, even though it was like, what did she have? Maybe 2 seconds screen time? I don't know. But that's one you guys need to keep it throughout the entire season. She's great. I love her. And I love how she was introduced, both Rufus and Tasha. Okay, let's speed on up into the end. I know this is kind of lengthy, but we're getting there. So, you know, we're going to introduce something called IVs Snapshot. And what that is one of my favorite scenes throughout the entire, you know, episode that I'm reviewing, watching, talking about, discussing with you guys, whatever you want to call this little session. But it was the moment when, you know, Issa was sitting there going, you know, trying to promote her business and trying to, you know, gain sponsors for the event she was trying to have. And it just didn't seem to go well at all. And I think we all can relate, where we're trying to accomplish a goal that we're so passionate about that we feel like, come on, we got this. And when we don't got it, sometimes you can panic, or sometimes you can innovate and just come up with something brilliant on the spot. And I think that's exactly what happened when she took the mic and she just reassured everyone there that she had a vision. And whether or not it was fully formed, she was passionate about it and it was something she truly cared about. And that's where I think she captivated a lot of the people there, um, to, be a part of the cause, to be a part of whatever it is that she was trying to promote. And it goes to show that when your heart is in it, you can never go wrong. There may be people who may not understand. There may be people who just don't completely get the idea or vision you have for yourself. But there are people who, when they hear it, it is singular. It is like, oh my God, I see what the fuck they're talking about. I see where they're trying to go, how they're trying to get there, and how I can help. And, it doesn't happen all the time, but in that scene, I saw it and I was like, that, I just get it. Because as a creative, as someone who loves to support creatives and just seeing the process of something great being created, you kind of like, it just pulls at your heartstrings because you're like, yes, even though it didn't go so well, I'm going to get up here and I'm more than sure that my intent is bigger than what's happening now. And it showed. I think she got about, she said 30 more or something like that. I'm not really sure of the line, but I just love that scene. It was great. And how she thanked Condola and the genuineness of the scene. It was great. And then now, Molly's shady behind. Let's get on you, Miss Yvonne Orgy. So, before I watched this episode, of course, I watched you guys in your virtual block party, and I saw, the conversations you were having. Yvonne, I was not expecting that Bush on Instagram Live. I just wasn't, but it was cute. It was cute, I guess. It was cute. It was you. It was DMV. It was that. Okay. Issa, of course, you looked amazing. But no, you guys both looked amazing. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate for doing that. Just giving a little bit of clarity before we delved into season 4, episode 1. And one thing I did notice toward the end of the episode is when Molly's guards just immediately went up. Like, she just started to panic because she felt like, Andrew just wasn't completely faithful, or they weren't seeing eye to eye, or she was just unsure of what was going on. And I think a lot of times when that happens, we, rather than being hurt and being vulnerable, we try to block it off. Like, cut the circulation now, amputate, and move the fuck on. And that's what Molly's used to. And, sometimes I feel like Molly's afraid of being hurt. Who's not? But Molly sometimes is a bit dramatic. And rather than dealing with it head on, she's like, nope, that's just not what's happening. Period. And then the last thing, which really threw me for a loop, threw me in many emotions. I'm going to tell you this last line left me so confused. And I told you guys from the beginning, I think it's important you pay attention to some of the last lines of the episode and some of the first. And this was one of the lines I think you needed to pay absolute attention to. Molly says, your life doesn't have to be this messy, right? It's like, she just says it to her. And she, of course, Issa kind of receives it like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm just trying to hold you accountable, girl. I'm just letting you know. It don't always have to be this messy, Issa. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, my first reaction to this was, wow, that was pretty harsh. Even after she just accomplished a goal that is, so important to the end goals for her in this block party, she just kind of puts her down like, girl, your life doesn't have to be this messy. And the reason I probably embody that emotion so good is because it's something I would say, even though my friend was going through, one of her biggest accomplishments. It's just important to, like she said, hold her accountable. I don't think it was completely harsh or inappropriate. I think Molly may have put some of her negative emotions behind it, but I think the intent was pure. I think it's important, like she said, important to hold your friends accountable. Um, in real life and even in the show, that's just another realism the writers put into it. Like, there's times when a lot of the things we say we're not hearing because we're not on the receiving end. But, which we see in episode 2, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but you will see that same emotion, the accountability part of it, is put back on to Molly from Issa. And it's like that flow of just always trying to make sure your friend is being held accountable, and just two, always seeing, you know, their faults, and where they, even when they may be accomplishing, or seeing their accomplishments even when they may be failing. It goes both ways. I think that is it for this actual video. I don't know how long I'm going to shorten it to. You'll find out in the end when I post the video. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you did watch, tune in next week. If you do have any comments, topics you want me to talk about, questions you want me to answer, just let me know. I'm excited for this season, guys. Even though it kind of left me like, where is this gonna go? I'm excited to keep my belt strapped and continue this roller coaster. I love Insecure. I love the performers. I love the writers. Thank you to the production assistants, everybody on the show, to make it work, to get everything wrapped before this quarantine thing and getting it out there to us. It's going to help remind us that even though we're living in insecure times, girl, we're still here for each other. And by way of being together virtually, let's tune in to Insecure on Sundays at 7 o'clock on HBO. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. And as always, come with a cocktail. Metal or plastic straw. Up to you. But I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.